to know they're worthy. It's so important to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. So you have to have that confidence that you have not just a place in the room, but to make sure you're heard in a room. I think in journalism, it's important to be a good writer, to be a critical thinker, and to be curious. And all of those things come into play in PR as well. The fields are very complementary because public relations, you truly are a storyteller in public relations. You're telling the story on behalf of your client. Similar to broadcast journalism, you're telling the story of the day, whatever the assignment that your producer has given you. So they're very complementary fields. I really believe in servant leadership. I believe it's my job to support my team, and in turn, their job to then support our clients. So every day I think, how can I help them become better? Because by them becoming better, we all become better. So whether it's just having an empathetic ear, and trying to practice that daily. It's not always easy because you really are the one that has to take the grunt work. You shouldn't be passing the grunt work on to your team. You need to be the one to be willing to do any role in the office in order to show them that you care. Really, it's about honesty, being authentic, being true. That's the most important thing. I've heard, and it's uncomfortable to hear sometimes, organizations that, well, how are you going to help me clean this up? How are you going to help me cover this up? And I use the same phrase every time. I say we're truth tellers, not cover-up artists. So if you want a truth teller, then we're your folks. If you want to cover it up, then maybe you should go to another firm. And I think then it's really about ultimately planning before a crisis hits, then waiting till something happens and then figuring out what am I going to do or say. It shouldn't be about a quick fix. It really should be about how the organization operates. I think you have to work hard. None of this work is for the faint of heart, right? You have to have a passion for the work. Because there are going to be some late nights and early mornings, some weekend work. But if you enjoy what you do, then you're not working a day in your life, right? And so I think choosing the field or the area of the field that's most impactful for you, where you feel like you're really making a difference, and then dig in. And you'll be successful. Successful folks are really those who are passionate about what they do. So that's what I would suggest for them. If you're passionate about it, you're going to be excellent. It's as simple as that, because if you're just doing a job just to earn a paycheck, it's always going to feel taxing and difficult and draining. But if you're passionate and excited about it, and you really have a curiosity and want to learn more, then it's just going to make room for success, right? Dr. Combs, talking to him out there, it's so funny because I've read so much of his material. And there's a crisis communication certificate that you can get through Public Relations Society of America. I've been through that program, but now there's a mastery of it. Oh, I got to take it, right? Because I want to learn more, because I'm passionate about it. I think it's fascinating to really go in and help an organization protect its brand, but not just for their protection, just to learn how to be better as an overall organization. Well, I didn't plan to found my own agency. It kind of happened. I really believe it's a God thing. I think the path you have or think you're going to have for your life may be one thing, but then God always tells you where you belong and where you need to be, and you have to listen to that voice. Overall, success with client projects is really about creating a strategic plan, starting with research, making sure you understand the stakeholders, the publics, um, having clear objectives in your plan, and then having strategies and tactics that will reach them. I mean, that's really it. You need a strategic plan for every campaign, every communications plan, every media plan, every crisis effort. Um, it really is about providing excellence. And so having a plan and working that plan is what you need to do to be successful. I think we all had to get involved in that space through the pandemic. For us, it was an easy transition because we have offices in Atlanta and in Memphis, and we were already communicating with each other through Zoom. So we were very used to using technology in order to host meetings, events, communicate. And so we passed that support on to our clients. But it was a period of time where we were helping clients figure out new ways to reach folks. We work with a lot of churches, for one, school districts. When schools went home, it was such a shift in just the communication effort of letting parents know the expectations and how this process is going to work was very challenging and time consuming. I think through the pandemic, communications as an industry, we were able to really show the necessity of our work. So I found COVID as a time that really highlighted our profession overall. Sources of Color is passion work. After the pandemic and the murder of George Floyd, we sat around as a team, mad, like a number of folks. What are we going to do different? How are we going to make a difference? We're not going to just stand aside anymore and just do work in our individual spaces. We've got to make a change. And one way we saw that is representation. When you look at the news, for instance, subject matter experts, 87% tend to be white. And we thought one way people might see Black and brown people differently is by just seeing Black and brown people in different roles. So that's where we launched the idea of Sources of Color, of matching Black and brown subject matter experts with journalists who were looking for sources for their stories. Research will tell you that most journalists rely on their personal networks. Well, if the large majority of journalists are white, then that means most of their personal networks are likely white. So by improving that situation, we created this platform where all journalists could come and find subject matter experts of color. And so the Society of Professional Journalists really took on, and they've become a partner in this work, and the National Public Relations Society of America has become a partner. Has it been easy and has it taken off right away? Absolutely not. It's been a slow process. We've made mistakes along the way, and we're learning and growing and changing the platform daily to make it more beneficial for users. When I received the invitation to come to Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss has a reputation of maybe not being as welcoming to Black and brown people. I've found the experience to be the opposite of that. I've enjoyed the visit thus far. I found the students very curious and interested in inclusive conversation. And I was grateful to be a part of it and grateful that they were intentional about trying to diversify the panel. And as I mentioned to a few of the students, I'd love to hear their voices more. I think they did a fantastic job, especially with this being the first one. And my only recommendation would be to insert their voice into the conversation so they can really get out of it what they intend to.